How's everyone doing today? And welcome to the Professional Development Edge Plus podcast. I got two great guests here today. I got from Milliman, Principal and Consulting Actuary Robert Eaton, as well as Sherry Chan, Managing Director at EY. How are you two doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great, excited. John. Excited to have you on. Very important topic. We got how actuaries could be the overseers of AI. So I'm very excited about that. First, I want to just let everyone know about Professional Development Edge Plus. That is our subscription service. And with that, you get every live webcast that the SOA offers. You get recordings of live webcasts and meeting recordings, as well as some great comprehensive courses. We got some on AI on there. And then we got short form video content, which features some of the best and the brightest in the industry, including some from Robert and Sherry that are great to check out. So great platform for everyone to enjoy and a great way to get your learning. So let's jump into this. First, in terms of AI and in terms of learning with AI, we do got our AI Insight for Actuaries meeting coming up, second annual. That's coming up in May 14th and 15th. May 1st is the first session of that meeting. We kind of do that as the intro session free for everybody. So be sure to jump on the May 1st session. And Robert, you were the chair of this conference last year, the first inaugural one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that meeting?
AI Insights for Actuaries, the symposium really recognizes that AI is already and will have a transformative role in the work that we do as actuaries. So we covered quite a lot of ground in the first symposium. We had kind of a practical technical track and a managerial track, and we hired some really great and found some really great keynote speakers and volunteers to participate. Actual practitioners using AI in their work, and then also some visionaries and leaders in the AI space. I thought it was really a success.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this year. Sherry, you have a session coming up. You're going to be doing a session this year on bias. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that session?
Yeah, first of all, I'm just really excited for it. I got asked to come back to speak, so I guess last year I did pretty well.
Great.
And as you said, John, this year I'm going to be talking about bias. I'm on a panel together with Yuki Young, and right now, we can't, as we'll delve into in this session here, sometimes the models and what comes out of the AI models, you need to be sure that it doesn't instill bias, right? And obviously, the AI models are trained on data that we have out there right now, and there's some implicit bias that could be seen in the data and therefore could be reflected in the model and the results. So we're going to do a little bit more deeper dive into that, use some examples and for people to ask questions and really just dive deeper into the topic. So I'm very excited about it.
Great, and I'm excited about that one too. So let's start to talk about, the actuaries being well suited and why are actuaries well suited for this task of overseeing AI models. Sherry, what do you have to say about that? Why should actuaries fill this role as being the oversights of AI models?
Yeah, I think even since the beginning of how actuaries are developed, right? We go through the exam process. The exam is obviously really extensive, but it covers a wide variety of topics from soup to nuts, whatever practice that we're in, right? It talks about the data, it talks about the models, and it talks about how does it fit into the business itself, right? And in the real world, when we are in our jobs, it's not uncommon for actuaries to be part of rotation programs where they see different parts of the businesses. And I think having built that skill, actuaries are in a very unique position to understand things. And, I think that's important for AI models because sometimes it can be a black box if you're not the one building it, right? You're giving it a prompt and then outputs the results from your prompt. And you don't see the intricate details. But knowing actuaries and knowing how they were developed and what they're exposed to as they're going up through their career, they understand, what is reasonable, what are the results coming out of it, how do you check the results without actually, going through every line of the code. And that's the expertise I think actuaries have that make them well suited to oversee AI models.
Yeah, great response there and great answers. How about you, Robert? What are some of the skills that you see in actuaries on why they should be these overseers of AI models?
Yeah, fully agree with what Sherry said. I mean, we're living in a world where the models that are, producing output and producing work, these models will be doing work, these agents will be doing work that actuaries are going to use. We're not going to be able to understand exactly how the model produced every output. It's not possible with language models and all of the kind of the current types, because there's so much going on inside, their matrix brains. But that's part of our training, as Sherry mentioned, is we review the output of models. We understand as best we can the parameters of what the model is doing, and in these cases with AI models, how they're trained. And these are, as Sherry pointed out, these are skills that actuaries have. We also kind of have embedded them in the framework we call the actuarial control cycle, where typically that means kind of pricing an insurance product and doing some experience studies and valuation, and kind of examining, the whole cycle of data and modeling and evaluation. Um, I expect us to do that very same thing to all of our AI models that we're going to use, whether they be kind of doing some of the work that we currently do now as actuaries, doing some of these valuation tasks, or doing other related kind of insurance type tasks like underwriting or fraud detection or those sorts of things.
Yeah, excellent. So why don't we talk about some of those tasks that AI we think we can do? What are some examples, Robert, about those tasks?
AI right now, language models are really good at kind of summarizing and kind of evaluating concepts, and even answering kind of basic and even moderate level questions about those. I think we should be employing those in our tasks as actuaries as we do kind of routine analyses. I think in my work, I look at the valuation of certain long-term care and life insurance liabilities quarter by quarter, year by year, understanding, things that actuarial analysis typically teaches us to do, understanding the drivers of changes in results. That sort of thing I think can be done with an assist by language models, helping me understand. I've got an 80-page cash flow testing memo from last year, and I've got one from this year, and can I help my new client understand what are the changes that I see in this, and what could be some of the drivers of the outcomes. I can certainly read the paper myself and get all of that. I can also search for keywords, but today I think language models can help us by giving us concise summaries of some of those, and pointing us in the right direction, and in many ways helping us get there faster.
Yeah, I agree. I think the future is bright for actuaries leveraging AI models. I think evolution is a key term. Sherry, how do you see the actuarial profession and actuaries evolving with the use of these AI models?
Yeah, I mean, I would just build on what Robert was saying, right? That, with the advent of AI, it's allowing us to, not be doing kind of the routine work that us as actuaries really we're not trained to do. We're trained to do the analysis part of it, right? I was just listening to an SOA podcast last night from the Entrepreneur and Innovation group, and they were talking about, one of the comments that really stuck to me was the speaker was saying how he in his prior actuarial roles, more entry level, was spending about 90% of his time doing routine work, right? And that's exactly what AI can help us with, especially with agentic AI these days, right? That they can, not only are you asking them for output, they can actually do things that you ask them to do. And I think by that, actuaries will be freed up from doing those kind of tasks and becoming more involved in more the strategic and analysis part of the role that we really are trained as actuaries to do. It always reminds me of this like inverted, the triangle right now is where the tip is on top, and the more wider base is the entry level actuaries who, we need a lot of them to do the work. and the middle management is the middle tier of checking the work. And we have, leaders on top, not as much, but out there delivering the work to the clients and, strategizing about what do the outputs need and all that. And I think with AI, that triangle is going to be inverted so that the tip is on bottom and we don't need as many actuaries to do kind of the entry level, very manual processes. We still need the middle management to check the results from the AI, but it's going to free up more actuaries to be more strategic leaders and, really interpreting those results and what do you do with those results and being the liaison to the clients and delivering them and really telling a story and helping them provide solutions to really solve their issues.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. I do think that it is going to level up the game with a lot of actuaries, and definitely make sure you're learning about this AI systems that are coming about, these large language models. Make sure you're keeping your sword sharp with that. So, Robert, Sherry, thanks a lot for joining me today. This has been another great podcast. Be sure to follow us on our platforms, and we'll see you again on another Professional Development Edge pod.
The views and opinions expressed in Society of Actuaries podcasts are those of the speakers or authors and do not necessarily reflect the views of their employers or the SOA. The opinions expressed should not be construed as legal or professional advice and are provided for educational purposes only. Please see the terms of use on SOA.org for more information.